After my father died, I put his toolbox in our shared shed. 1 month later, it was gone. My neighbor said, "It's just old junk." I cleared it out. I didn't say a word. I waited until I saw him using one of the tools. Then I did something he never saw coming. I live in Missoula, Montana. Not downtown, I'm out on the edge where things are quieter. I rent one side of a duplex. My neighbor Scott has the other. We share a backyard and a shed. It's nothing special. Just a weathered wooden shed with 2 padlocks, one on each door. Inside, there's no wall between our sides. Just space. You stay on your side, I stay on mine. That's always how it was. When my dad passed, I didn't cry at the funeral. I didn't say anything really. But when I got back home, I went through his things. Most of it I boxed up. A few tools I took. His old red Craftsman toolbox went with me. It was scratched up, dusty, the latches a little stiff. But it was his. I kept it how he left it, sockets arranged in size order, wrenches stacked just so. I don't know why I didn't keep it in the house. It felt like it belonged in a work shed. So I took it out back and slid it into the far corner of the shared shed, right against the back wall. I didn't tell Scott. I didn't think I had to. That's how neighbors should be. About a month later, I went out there to grab a tarp. That's when I noticed it. The toolbox was gone. I stood there staring for a full minute, like maybe I'd walked into the wrong shed. But everything else was still there. My rake. My old snow shovel. The Christmas lights and a busted Tupperware box. Just not the toolbox. I knocked on Scott's door. He opened it slow, holding a sandwich in one hand and his phone in the other. "Hey," I said. "Did you move a red toolbox from the shed?" He barely looked up. "Oh, yeah, that thing? I cleaned some stuff out last week. Looked like junk." My stomach dropped. It wasn't junk. That was my dad's. He shrugged and took another bite of his sandwich. "Well, it didn't have your name on it. Thought it was trash." I didn't yell. I didn't curse. I just nodded and walked back across the lawn. My hands were clenched, so tight my nails left marks. I told myself, maybe he was telling the truth. Maybe he really thought it was trash. Maybe he threw it away and didn't think twice. I tried to believe that for 3 days. Then on Saturday, I was walking out to take the trash to the curb when I saw Scott in his driveway, bent over his motorcycle. He was messing with the engine. I wasn't going to look twice until I saw the screwdriver in his hand. It had a cracked black handle with 2 pieces of old electrical tape wrapped around it. I knew that screwdriver. I used it to open paint cans with my dad when I was 10. I saw him fix a broken lock with it in 1999. That was my father's screwdriver. He hadn't thrown the toolbox out. He'd taken it, gone through it, kept what he liked, lied to my face. That's when I stopped feeling sad. That's when I started thinking about what I was going to do. I didn't say anything that day. I stood there on my porch, holding a garbage bag, watching him tighten a bolt with my dad's tool. He looked up, caught my eye, and gave me this casual nod. Like we were still neighbors. Like nothing had happened. I went back inside and set the trash down. My hands were shaking again, but not from grief this time. I started paying attention. That was the first thing. Over the next 2 weeks, I kept track of what Scott was doing. When he worked, when he left, what tools he used. He fixed a broken gate latch with one of my dad's adjustable wrenches. He cleaned his gutters using my dad's extendable ladder. That toolbox wasn't junk to him. He was using it. Every damn day. That's when I knew I wasn't going to let this slide. I didn't want to fight him. I didn't want to call the cops. They wouldn't do anything without proof. I wanted him to feel something. Something real. I started with his side of the shed. Late one night, after I knew he was asleep, his lights go off around 11:15, I walked out back with a headlamp and a quiet screwdriver. I took off the lock from my side of the shed, then unscrewed the partition wall from inside. It wasn't much, just a few beams and plywood. Now, it was one open space. I stepped over and looked around his half. That's when I saw them. The rest of the tools. My dad's old pipe wrench. His soldering iron, still wrapped in the same burnt cloth. even the toolbox itself, shoved under a plastic storage shelf. I didn't touch anything yet. Instead, I unscrewed one of the hinges from the shed door. Just one. Just enough so the door would sag when it opened, like it was broken. Subtle, easy to miss. Then I put everything back, walked inside, and waited. 2 mornings later, I heard him swear from the backyard. "What the hell?" he shouted. I looked out. He was staring at the door, hanging loose. "You okay?" I called. "Stupid things falling apart," he muttered. I just nodded. "Looks that way." That afternoon, he went out to buy new hinges. I watched him carry the toolbox out and set it on the grass while he worked on the door. That's when I made my move. He set the toolbox down without even looking at it. It sat there in the sun, lid half open, like it didn't mean anything. Like it wasn't full of pieces of my father. Scott had a Bluetooth speaker playing some loud 90s rock while he swapped the hinges. He wasn't paying attention. So I walked over. I didn't sneak. I didn't run. I just walked, calm and steady, like I belonged in my own backyard because I did. He didn't hear me. He was cursing under his breath about strip screws. I knelt down and picked up the screwdriver. My dad's. The cracked handle felt warm in my hand. I slipped it into my back pocket. Then I grabbed the wrench. Then the soldering iron. Piece by piece, I emptied what I could into a canvas bag I'd tucked under my hoodie. I didn't take all of it. Just the ones that mattered. The ones I remembered using. The ones I knew for sure were his. I stood up and walked back toward my side. Halfway there, he turned around. "Hey," he shouted. "What the hell are you doing?" I stopped and turned slowly. I didn't hide the bag.
"These are mine," I said.
"You lied." He came toward me fast, red-faced. "You can't just take my stuff." I stepped back once, just enough to make him pause. "It's not yours. You stole it. From the shed. From me." He hesitated, like he was deciding whether to yell or threaten me. Then something shifted in his face, not guilt, not fear. Just calculation. "You have no proof," he said. I smiled just a little. "I do now." Because what he didn't know was that I'd taken photos. The tools, the shed, the dates. I had text messages where he admitted to clearing it out. I had everything I needed if I ever decided to take it further. But I didn't go to the police. I didn't want to. Instead, I made a few copies of the photos and mailed them, not to him, to his boss. Scott worked maintenance at the school district. That part I'd learned from a bumper sticker on his truck. A week later, he stopped using the tools. A month after that, he was packing boxes into his truck. Said he was moving in with someone in Spokane. Didn't even say goodbye.
But the twist?
That's not the end. Because 2 weeks after he left, I was cleaning out the rest of the shed, and I found something buried behind his old paint cans, something I didn't even know was missing. A folded piece of paper in my dad's handwriting. The paper was yellowed and soft, folded twice. I knew that fold. It was how my dad used to fold instructions, notes, anything he didn't want to lose. He'd tuck them inside toolboxes, glove compartments, fishing tackle boxes. I hadn't seen this one before. I sat down right there on the floor of the shed and opened it. It was a note, scribbled in his rough, all-caps handwriting. "If you're reading this, I'm gone. Or you're digging for something you shouldn't. This toolbox isn't worth much, but it's yours now. Don't lose it. Don't give it to some idiot who won't know the difference between a March 8th and a 1/2. Fix something with it. Break something if you have to. Just use it." My throat closed up. I had to blink for a long time before I could even finish the bottom line. P.S. The screwdriver handle's cracked. I know. I couldn't throw it out. I sat there for maybe 15 minutes, not moving, just reading it over and over. The way he wrote, "Don't give it to some idiot." It wasn't about the tool. It was about being careful who you trust. About knowing the difference between something useful and something hollow. Scott had touched what he had no business touching. And even though I'd gotten some of it back, the note made it clear this was never just about revenge. It was about not letting people like him decide what matters. That's when I made one last decision. I walked inside, grabbed my phone, and deleted the folder with the photos. The proof. Everything I'd collected to bring him down if I wanted. I didn't need it anymore. He was already gone. The tools were home. And the one thing that mattered most? He never even knew it was there. Sometimes I still catch myself looking out the window, half expecting to see him walk past. Part of me still wants to say something, to ask why he did it, what he thought he'd get out of it. But I never will. And I think the truth is he didn't steal the tools because he needed them. He stole them because he thought no one would notice. Because people like him count on silence. And maybe that's what gets to me the most. He never even opened the bottom drawer. The one with my dad's name scratched into the metal.